in 1986 in Bendel State, Nigeria. Banks closed early. Armed robbery reported again tonight. Highways emptied before sunset. All because of one man, Lawrence Anini. Nigeria in the mid-1980s was under military rule. Uniformed soldiers stood guard outside government buildings. Power had changed hands, and tension lingered in the air. In August 1985, Major General Ibrahim Babangida seized power in a military coup. Civilian rule had once again given way to military authority. Behind those doors, decisions were being made that would shape the nation's future. But beyond the government compounds, ordinary Nigerians were feeling a different kind of pressure. Inflation was rising, jobs were scarce, economic hardship was becoming part of daily life. As economic strain increased, so did urban crime. Police checkpoints became a common sight. Vehicles were stopped, drivers were questioned, security was tightening, but fear was spreading. Benin City, capital of Bendel State, was a major commercial hub. Traffic moved steadily around Ring Road. Markets were busy, but beneath the surface, armed robbery was on the rise. By 1986, many businesses began closing earlier than usual. Highways grew quieter after sunset, and across Bendel State, a name was beginning to circulate: Lawrence Anini. Lawrence Anini was born in the 1960s in Benin City. By the early 1980s, he had entered the world of organized armed robbery. He did not operate alone. He led a gang. Among his associates was Monday Osunbor, later tried and executed alongside him. Their operations were calculated. They targeted highways, banks, and wealthy individuals. They studied patrol patterns. They exploited weaknesses. By 1985 and 1986, Bendel State was experiencing repeated armed robbery attacks. Each successful operation increased the gang's reputation. And as their notoriety grew, so did public fear. Law enforcement was under pressure. The hunt was intensifying. By 1985 and 1986, highways linking Benin City had become high-risk zones. Drivers avoided travel after dark. Reports of armed robbery incidents spread across Bendel State. Each attack deepened the atmosphere of uncertainty. Residents began adjusting their routines. Fear was no longer rumor, it was reality. Banks strengthened security. Businesses closed earlier than usual. Law enforcement agencies faced mounting pressure. Task forces were deployed. Roadblocks increased. And through newspapers and radio broadcasts, the name Lawrence Anini began to circulate more widely. Then came a disturbing revelation. Certain police officers were allegedly collaborating with the gang. Investigations revealed that information about patrol movements and checkpoints had been leaked. This was not simply a story of a criminal network. It was a story of institutional compromise. When enforcement is weakened from within, even routine operations become predictable. As scrutiny increased, internal investigations began exposing corruption inside the police force. The federal authorities intensified their involvement. The hunt for Lawrence Anini entered a new phase. By late 1986, the search for Lawrence Anini had become one of the most publicized manhunts in Nigerian history. Security forces conducted raids. Suspected hideouts were searched. The pressure was mounting. Task forces increased their operations across Benin City. Federal authorities intensified their involvement. The hunt was closing in. On December 3, 1986, Lawrence Anini was captured in Benin City after a gun battle with police. He sustained serious injuries during the operation. After years of evasion, the reign was over. Following his arrest, Lawrence Anini was charged and tried before a special military tribunal. The charges included armed robbery and related offenses. Proceedings were conducted under Nigeria's military government. The tribunal found him guilty. He was sentenced to death. On March 29, 1987, Lawrence Anini was executed by firing squad. His accomplice, Monday Osunbor, was executed alongside him. The executions were widely reported in national media. For many Nigerians, it marked the end of a violent chapter. Today, the name Lawrence Anini remains part of Nigerian criminal history, not as legend, but as record. A reminder of how crime, corruption, and consequence shaped an era. Under Nigeria's military government, the trial of Lawrence Anini was conducted by a special military tribunal. The tribunal panel, composed of military officers, sat in formal authority. There would be no conventional civilian jury. Now seated under guard, the man who once evaded capture faced the full weight of the state. He showed no celebration, no defiance. The charges included armed robbery and related offenses. After reviewing the evidence presented before them, the tribunal reached its decision. The verdict was reported across national newspapers. Headlines confirmed what many had anticipated. The tribunal found him guilty. Sentence: death. On March 29, 1987, Lawrence Anini was executed by firing squad. His accomplice, Monday Osunbor, was executed alongside him. For many Nigerians, it marked the end of a dark chapter. But history does not remember him as legend. It records him as a warning. Corruption within law enforcement. When enforcement is compromised, crime multiplies. Information about patrol movements was leaked. Checkpoint locations were exposed. Unlike today's digital tracking systems, the 1980s relied heavily on physical intelligence, limited forensic and surveillance technology, weak coordination between security agencies, operational gaps created opportunity, economic instability fueled organized crime. Crime did not grow in isolation. Highways linking Benin City became high-risk zones. Drivers avoided travel after dark. He did not outsmart a perfect system. He exploited structural weakness. Eventually, pressure from federal authorities closed the gaps. Today, Benin City moves in calm daylight. The highways are open, the streets are active, life continues without fear. But history remembers. In the mid-1980s, headlines across Bendel State carried one name: Lawrence Anini. His reign exposed cracks within law enforcement, corruption, weak coordination, a system under pressure. But institutions evolve, investigations intensified, complicity was uncovered, and the system corrected itself. Lawrence Anini once controlled highways, but he could not outrun accountability. Crime may thrive in shadows, but history records the truth. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.